Dr. Coons from Endeavor Chiropractic in Springfield, Missouri. And I have another voiceover of a patient visit. This one is my wife. We're going to be starting with her hips. She tends to have her sacrum deviate to the right, kind of towards the bottom portion of it. So putting her on her right side means that the sacrum is deviating towards the floor with her laying there. I'm going to grab onto the bottom of that. I'm going to be using my piezoform. I'm going to roll her towards me, and then when I roll her to there, I'm able to kind of push it from right to left. It moves pretty easy, so you don't need a lot of force with that. So, plus my wife moves pretty easily in general for adjustments. And then here we're just kind of chatting about different things, and then I recheck her hips, and then I find that her, in a minute here, her left hip is out, and I'll change camera angles, and then we'll get that one adjusted. But yeah, for a lot of things with a typical patient on a new patient visit, I tend to do drops for most patients. Drops work just fine. My wife is kind of flexible. So oftentimes when somebody's super flexible and you work on like their hips and pelvis, I tend to prefer doing a little bit more side posture. Side posture, for those of you who are not chiropractors, I guess, is with somebody laying on their side and then you adjust them. Typically that is a hip, pelvis, sacrum, or like a lumbar, sometimes into the bottom parts of the thoracics. So laying like this. For this one, her left hip is out. Her left hip is also the side that is down against the bench. Her left hip has rotated what we would call externally. And then, excuse me, I guess, get that adjusted. So I'm bringing it from external to internal, or it's gone more to the left, and her left side is down, so it's towards the floor when I adjusted her. So I'm bringing it from left to right, lateral to medial, external to internal, however that makes sense for you. And then we double check it there. And then I jump into her femurs. I kind of check how people's femurs feel. When I adjust their hips, because sometimes people will have a little bit of residual pain, sometimes people have some residual tightness, and their femur a lot of times will be a little bit sore, a little bit stiff, not quite moving properly. But it's not the main complaint that they came in with. I just find that it provides a little bit of extra benefit. I think I've seen quite a few other chiropractors do something similar. They may not adjust it the exact same way, but I think a lot of people enjoy having it be a little bit more of a well-rounded experience than just like adjusting one or two things and sending them home, you know? So, excuse me. So here I'm working on the bottom part of her thoracics, kind of at the TL junction. TL junction, so here it'd be like thoracolumbar junction, so where your thoracic spine meets your lumbar spine. Then there was her about a T6, and then I think the next one is a T3. And all those moved super well. And then typically, after I adjust, excuse me, after I adjust the thoracic spine, I work on people's ribs. I found a lot of benefits from doing this. These are my first couple video attempts at, doing like some shorts as well as some voiceovers. In a few more videos here, I have different patient visits that I will voice over as well, and kind of show a spot where I am able to demonstrate kind of like halfway done. So like I do like the left side of somebody, and then I bring the camera and show what it looks like from left to right after working on the ribs. You can see a pretty big difference between the muscle tone and how much it looks like it changes from side to side. I think that's something I'll probably try to do from now on as many people as I can who let me, film them and stuff like that. So for my wife there, I adjusted something in her lower cervicals. She typically has something out in her lower cervicals, typically like a C7, C6. Depending on the day, sometimes it's a little bit different from visit to visit. And then I'm waving at our son. He's sitting over there in his little car seat in the corner. And then adjusted something like a C3, C4. And then the next one here is going to be her C1. And that one's typically out on the right. And it's anterior rotated, so I will toggle her. So toggle is a chiropractic technique. I think it was developed by B.J. Palmer. It's probably at least 100 years ago, maybe a little bit more now. It's side lying, so laying on your side. And then you apply pressure to the side of their neck, pushing towards the floor. You're able to, as the chiropractor, position your body to take into account how a vertebra is rotated. This is something that's specific to the neck because you can't really do this in the thoracic spine because the ribs are in the way, or the lumbar spine because there's a lot of like muscles in the way. But on her C1 is anterior rotated, so I grab onto the front side of that transverse process with my thumb because my hand is too big. I can't get a specific enough contact without using my thumb or another finger if somebody has a smaller neck than my wife. And that one for her was a little bit sore, and her neck was really sore coming into this appointment. So we end up doing a little bit of muscle work. I do some pin and stretch on her cervical scalenes as well as the traps. And she's just like really tight on that right side. So I changed the camera angle to get a good, kind of joking around there, but change the camera angle to kind of show what I'm doing a little bit better. And then I typically use a little bit of biofreeze on people's necks when I do the pin and stretch. It provides a little bit of lubrication, plus it provides a little bit of an analgesic effect for the individual patient. When they leave, analgesic, I guess, as a word, can also mean like pain relief. And it's not like specifically like how Tylenol can kind of like, or like an opioid will like mask your pain. Like a topical cream or gel like biofreeze will do something called pain gating, or at least that's the theory, where these type of receptors in your skin have a faster nerve conduction velocity going to your brain than pain receptors. So your brain will recognize the stimulus on these different receptors in your skin, and it will feel like you have less pain because they get to your brain first, or your spinal column first, wherever the pain is processed. So that's just kind of the theory. I don't know. I just find it to feel cold personally, but people really like it, so I use that instead of like a massage oil or cream or something like that. And here I'm just kind of digging in, stretching her out, and breaking all that stuff up. And then I'll work on that until the muscles feel soft and pliable underneath my hand, and people tend to feel pretty relaxed after that's done. This part of the video is sped up quite a bit, so like I worked on her for several minutes on her neck muscles there. So if it looks like I'm moving kind of quick for massaging a muscle, it's because I sped the video up, and I didn't want this video to be, like 20 minutes long. I think right now we have it as 11 minutes instead, so. But yeah, if you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment, reach out to the clinic. If you're looking for an appointment, you can call or text. You can make an appointment either way there, with a call or a text. So, hope you enjoyed the video, and thank you.